people get involved in your campaign and they say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us.
And I expect all of you guys to get involved with conservative media and be heard today, tax day, April 15th, and again, November, when we take this country back from the people that are trying to control you and make this into a socialist state. We're not standing for it. Thank you very much.
These people are speaking it out here. They're letting you know what's going on.
Conservative New Media peeps, what's up? It's me, JDV, John D. Villarreal, and I've got PFV on the line here. We got our Israel correspondent over there in Israel, but she doesn't want to deal with anything right now. And we've got Diamond Day. Oh, it's my boy BG, dude, right there, and I love it. We have, just so these YouTube people know and everyone, we've got full permission to do the simulcast and all this type of stuff, everything like that. I know Dave, he's already given us permission, written permission, everything like that. We got it right here. Brad Goehring, there is explosive news on this. The reason we're bringing in this full hour of Brad Goehring, of course, you know we are hired by the campaign and we put all that stuff and disclaimer in there, everything like that. This is a paid video and the whole deal. But we wanted to bring this simulcast of breaking news for you. Why? Because Keith Olbermann himself and the liberal statists have been attacking Brad Goehring here for something he says. He's going to talk about it here. We may even call in. This is going to be a crazy explosive hour. You got to stick through this thing from front to back. I'm sure there'll be some slow parts, but there's going to be breaking news on this thing. It's going to get crazy, and I want to bring it to you live right here. Let's do this. And I'm going to commentate the whole time about what's going on.
Welcome back aboard, fellow cheese lovers. It's still an E4
Turn up the volume.
Monday episode of the Big Show. It's Afternoons Live on KFIV 1360 AM Modesto, KWSX 1280 AM Stockton, your home for Stockton Sports Baseball. With Zach Bayruti. Hope you enjoy that. I certainly do. I am your host, submarine qualified, well-copied, stuffy elitist history buff, still demonstrating that official naming ethos, the Dave Diamond. Brad Goehring is here. He's a candidate for CD 11, the seat currently held by Democrat Jerry McNerney. You can ask him questions too. 551-3483 or 866-770-5550. He is anxiously ready to answer your questions. Brad, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Good to be back.
We've had you before, so I think we'll skip the traditional basic questions of, do you actually live in the district?
I do. Almost my entire life.
I'm getting used to people not living in the district.
Yeah, go Dave!
The standard stuff. Where are you on the Second Amendment? Where are you on birth, abortion? Where are you on taxes? I think we already know that.
Yeah, we've been there. We can refresh if you'd like.
I'll give you 3 minutes to give your campaign statement on all the basic stuff before we get to the real stuff.
Well, okay, I'm a fourth-generation wine grape grower who's sick and tired of what government regulation and regulatory agencies is doing to my business and my industry, and I know I'm not the only one out there. And where I stand on some of the issues, I'm the only candidate running that's got a concealed weapons permit. So I think that spells out where I am on Second Amendment. I'm definitely pro-life. And the immigration status, we've got a very broken system that needs to be fixed in this country. Being a fourth-generation grape grower, I can tell you that fiscally, I don't think there's anybody that knows how to budget better than a farmer. If you think about it, a farmer gets paid once a year. And you get paid once a year, and you've got to budget out that money all year long. Whereas, people that get paychecks, nothing wrong with that. They know how to budget too. But when you get paid once a year, you've got to know how to stretch things and make things work. Just a little story about me is back in spring of 2008, April 25th to be exact, I had a frost that wiped out 80% of my crops. And what my wife and I did that day is we didn't hesitate. We got out every piece of financial information that we had, and we started making cutbacks. Thank heavens we were conservative enough to have savings accounts and to have saved money, and part of our capital expansion plans for our business was to pay cash for those things. Thank heavens we had cash saved. And so we stopped our expansion plans. We tapped into the savings accounts. We cut back on vacation plans. We cut back on entertaining friends and going out to dinner. And 2008 was a pretty painful year. But you know what? The point I'm trying to make here is we conserved our way out of that problem, and we didn't spend our way out of the problem. I think that's a sharp contrast to what's going on in many governments today, especially Washington.
as we look at the various candidates, and right now I think there's 4 candidates for CD.
Do it, Dave!
There are 4.
Okay.
Get into it!
Other than being a farmer,
Right.
what experience do you have that makes you qualified to be a congressman? I mean, theoretically, congresspeople are supposed to be the people, so you should be one of us.
No, that's right. In fact, I put my pants on the same way you do. You know, I still
Really?
change. That's one-legged dog. You too?
No,
Well, okay, I'm a one-legger.
All right.
Anyways, no, hey, I change my own oil, I mow my own lawn, and
I do none of that.
I have worked for what I've gotten today.
I have done that.
And that's where people, I'm just sick and tired of government suppressing productivity and government doing everything they can to quell productivity and prosperity. And I've been a victim of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost put out of business and almost lost everything I own due to a rogue agency, the Army Corps of Engineers, going amok. And that led me to a cause.
Back up just a second there. I mean, when I think rogue agencies, I think IRS, EPA. The Army Corps of Engineers isn't what exactly jumps to my head.
Well, okay, let's think about what the Army Corps of Engineers is. And this is one thing I think when I get back to Congress, one thing that I want to do is reevaluate. We reevaluate departments in our own business all the time. Are they still on track with what they were intended to be? The Army Corps of Engineers was created, for example, after World War I to build levees, bridges, and dams. And today, their primary function is to regulate environmental legislation. They're the
Do we have
enforcement.
EPA for that?
Oh yeah, but they help the EPA. They work side by side. They have the same guidebooks and the same policies.
So your first move would then be to amalgamate the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers into one super annoying department.
Absolutely not. If I had my way, what I'd first do is move to eliminate everything that wasn't enumerated by our Constitution. Department of Education would be a great example. We have no business federalizing education. It's ridiculous that the states collect the money, send it to the federal government collects it, and then arm twists for favors and agendas and just redistributing it back to the states. It's not enumerated in our Constitution, and therefore it's a department that should go away. We need to look at the agencies. What were they created for? When were they created? Are they still on track doing the same thing today that they started out to be? Or have they morphed and evolved into these big monsters that they are today, doing something completely different from their original intentions?
It's Afternoons Live on KFIV. We're talking with Brad Goehring. He is a candidate for CD 11. That's the seat currently held by Jerry McNerney. You want to join us? 551-3483, 866-770-5556. On the web at KFIV1360.com. All right, caller, give me your first name, where you're calling
Do
from.
it.
Fire away.
Keep this up.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
There are a lot of candidates in this valley, but I think the one that needs to really represent County and replace Jerry McNerney is Brad Goehring. One reason is the water. We are water in this valley, have been for centuries. We got to maintain our agriculture. I am afraid that is not a priority for anybody else, and nobody else is indigenous to this county except for Brad.
Right.
That's why I'm supporting Brad Goehring for Congress. I want us to maintain our life. I don't want this to become a pavement parking lot like San Jose and the rest of the East Bay. We need to preserve what God gave us. Thanks very much, Dave, and good luck, Brad.
Hey, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And just to echo your sentiment, agriculture is the #1 industry in this congressional district. Agriculture is the #1 industry in California. And I represent agriculture and I represent water. There's not one other candidate that's got the background on the water that I do. And furthermore, 70% of the district is in the valley portion of the district, meaning on this side of the Altamont Pass. And that's where most of the agriculture in this district is. And I will have the ability to work with our local elected officials because I've got a proven track record of doing that, fighting some of these property rights, some of these legislative ideas that want to violate our private property rights via the Clean Water Act. And so I've taken a tour, a 4-day tour of the state of California waterway system, and I know firsthand just how vital water is. But I can also be a cohesive unit with our local electeds, and when these topics like water come up, that's a state and a federal issue that we need to work together on. And I could go to work on that immediately where the other candidates, they don't even know the local legislators.
There you have it. It's Afternoons Live.
Well, what do you think of that, Paul?
It's good. It's good. Look, Goehring just needs to continue to work, let the people know who he is before the upcoming primary. He's doing that. Glad that Diamond Dave is given a forum to do that, and I like it.
I love it. I love it. This guy knows water. He knows agriculture. He's in there fighting for people. He lives in the district. He understands what the district is all about. He's speaking it.